So we've got Marcus from year 3 here. In year 3, we came back to school after Christmas and we were focusing on the book Hansel and Gretel, and it built up to the children writing some of their own narratives, retelling the story. We worked together to write the first part, and then the children went off and did this independently. So Marcus is going to read his for you now.
Hansel and Gretel. Once there lived a woodcutter who was so poor that he could not feed his own family. He lived with his wife and children, called Hansel and Gretel. The children's evil stepmother wanted to lead them into the deep, dark forest and leave them there. "I can't do that to my own children," their father replied. The stepmother gave him no peace until he agreed. The children heard what the stepmother said, so they made a plan. Hansel came out of the house while creeping so he could get the pebbles. The next morning they went into the forest and Hansel kept stopping. "What are you doing, Hansel?" his father asked. "I'm looking at our cat on the house," Hansel replied while dropping pebbles. "You fool! That's just the morning sun," the stepmother said. When they arrived into the forest, the father said, "Me and your stepmother will go to get some more wood for the fire pit." On the next day, the children followed the pebbles back home. "Again, we have little food, so we have to get rid of the children once again," the stepmother said. The stepmother took the children back to the forest even deeper, though. While they were walking, Hansel dropped his piece of bread so he could follow it back home. When it grew darker, they went to go follow it back home. "Oh no, the bread has gone," Hansel said. "The birds might have eaten it," Gretel replied. The children could not find their way home. For 3 days they had been in the forest, and they were starving. Then they stumbled on a sweet, sugary cottage, and then came a voice. "Nibble, nibble, little mouse, who is nibbling at my house?" Then came out a creepy, scary witch that made the children drop their food they were eating. The witch invited them in and made them a meal, and they fell asleep like they were in heaven. The next morning, the witch locked Hansel in a cage. The witch got hungrier and hungrier, so she told Gretel to check if the oven was hot enough. Then Gretel had figured out the witch's plan, and she told her, "I don't know how. Can you show me?" "Stupid goose, I can fit in myself," the witch cackled. She showed Gretel, and then Gretel gave her a big, massive shove. The witch burned to her death. Gretel unlocked Hansel, and Hansel was free at last. The children filled their pockets with the witch's precious, shiny jewels. They found their way home. Their father was overjoyed and their stepmother had died. They lived happily ever after.
Thank you so much, Marcus. That was beautiful reading of your story.